In this last tutorial, I'm going to show you how to take the data tables from your Microsoft Excel document, as well as the graphs from your Microsoft Excel document, and place them into your laboratory report that is in Microsoft Word format. So first, to copy and paste my data tables, what I'm going to do is I'm going to left click at the very top of, in this case, my constant speed trial data, and I'm going to highlight all those cells below it for the constant speed trial. I'm going to release the mouse and right click in the blank space and select the option to copy. I already have my Microsoft Word document pulled up, so I'm going to select it at the bottom, and here's my report, of course in the standard report format, almost completed. And under my data section, because that's where data tables belong, I'm going to right click and paste my data. This is for the constant speed trial, but I also have data for accelerated motion. So if I go back to my Microsoft Excel document, I can highlight those data similar to the way that I did for my constant speed trial. Again, right click, copy, go back to my document, and in the data section I will right click and paste. And now I have my data tables entered into my Microsoft Word document. I can clean them up a little bit by making sure they're adjusted toward the center. If I move my cursor up to the top left of my data tables, you'll see a little icon there that has 4 arrows. If you click that, all of your data tables will be highlighted. And then if you go up top to the center icon, you can center those data tables in the middle. Looks nice. Now, if I go back to my Microsoft Excel document, I'm ready to copy over my graph plots. The first plot that I was asked to graph was the distance versus time for constant speed. And if I right click in the blank space on my graph, again, it's in the blank space, not here in the middle. If I right click, say up here in the left corner, I have the option to copy. And if I go down to my document, under the results section, because that is where my graphs belong, I can right click and paste my graph into that space. And again, I can click on my graph and go up top to select the option to have it centered. Now if I click off to the side, you see my cursor down here to the bottom right of that. All I have to do is hit the enter button and it brings me down to the space just below it for my other graph. I'll go back to my Microsoft Excel document, and now I can choose the distance versus time for the accelerated plot. Notice that it's parabolic. Again, right click in a blank space, copy, go over to my document, right click, paste, and now that graph has been implemented. And then I have one more graph to do. It is my distance versus time for accelerated motion. And if you're wondering why there aren't grid lines in this one, it's because I haven't put them there, so I should do that. Right click, chart options, grid lines, major and minor. So now this graph is ready to be copied. If I right click in the blank area, copy, and go back down to my document, my cursor's to the right, so I better hit the enter button. And now I can right click and paste in there. Notice it's pushed my graph down to the next page. If I want them all on the same page, I could adjust the size of my graphs by just selecting it and moving my cursor down to the bottom corner and dragging it up for each one of these. Or if you're okay with having it on 3 pages, then that's fine too. Maybe you want one big graph plot for each page. You can do that. Or maybe you just want to have the 2 on one page and the 3rd on a separate. As long as it's under your results section, it shouldn't matter. But you can adjust the size however you see fit to do. Okay, so what you've done is you've copied over your data tables from Microsoft Excel into your Word document, and you've also copied over your graph plots from Microsoft Excel into your Word document. At this point, to complete the lab, all you'd have to do is complete the calculations and answer the questions.